Hello, everyone, and welcome back to some more Fairly Unbalanced with Mike Talon. Today, coming to you live from my teenage bedroom. Um, I've been back at home helping out with my folks a little bit, and so uh, sometimes I just have to come hide in my room to talk into a camera. Um, First off, thanks to everybody for watching these things. We'll see what happens as we move ahead. I started it on a lark, and I presume it is going to continue to be lark-like in one form or another. Um, like, subscribe, share, thank you. There's so much going on that it's kind of hard to figure out what to talk about today. But the thing that's actually been on my mind and making me laugh that it doesn't seem like it's getting a lot of attention um, is a potential uh, self-own, a potential disaster that the Republicans taking over the House of Representatives are causing for themselves or potentially causing for themselves. Um, so we all know at this point that the Republicans are going to have a very, very, very thin majority in the House of Representatives. 220, blah, eating popcorn. 220, 221, whatever it takes. Um, and they're going to have about 3 votes that they can fiddle around with at any given time. We all know this. I'm sure you're paying attention. If you're watching these things, you're a political junkie like me. Um, but this is the thing that hasn't been covered. We all have heard that the Republicans are considering doing some changes to the rules, the way that things are done inside the House of Representatives. There are 2 changes that may very well collide into one another in hilarious ways next spring. Gotta check my time. First, you've probably heard that the Republican caucus in the House, in order to support Mark, no, Kevin McCarthy, I get those guys confused. In order to support Kevin McCarthy to be the Speaker, they want to change something called an order to vacate the chair. What that is it's essentially a change in the rules that would make it a lot easier to remove the Speaker from his position of authority in the House of Representatives. The change that they want to make is they want to allow any member of Congress at any time to make a motion, something called a privileged motion, on the floor of the House of Representatives. And the privileged motion means that the vote would have to be called within 2 days. If it's not a privileged motion, if it's a normal motion, the Rules Committee can just bury it. It never comes to the floor. But a privileged motion must come up to the floor for a vote in 2 days. And so they want to make a change that would allow any member of the House of Representatives at any time to basically call for Kevin McCarthy's head. This is an effort by our dog patch Targaryen, Marjorie Taylor Greene, um, and Matt Gaetz and the other Paul Gosar and the other knuckleheads to constantly keep a gun at Kevin McCarthy's head to make him dedicate the next 2 years to Hunter Biden's laptop or whatever madness they want to engage. Um, and it's a threat, and it's meant to be a threat by the MAGA Republicans against the Republican Speaker of the House. And that's one thing. But there's another change that they're talking about making, and I don't think they see how these things might collide into one another. The other change they want to make, or one of the other changes, is to remove the provision that allows for proxy voting. During the last Congress, rules were changed that allowed members of Congress to vote by proxy or remotely. This was all a very sensible thing done because COVID, 435 people, one fucking room. But the Republicans hated it because it was giving in to the COVID overlords or whatever, science. And so they want to get rid of that. Think about that. The Republicans have a majority of probably 3 votes. That means if they lose 3 votes, if one Republican dies and two get arrested, they come down to losing their majority. Or even consider this: there's a snowstorm in the Northeast, and for some reason, 5 Republicans can't get to Washington, D.C. for the day. They no longer have a majority that's voting, and you've changed the rules that allow any member of the House of Representatives at any time to have Kevin McCarthy's head. And so I'm just hoping that they do this. It's a very, very low percentage possibility, but wouldn't it just be beautiful if the fates conspired to have 5 Republicans unable to show up in Washington one day, and Ilhan Omar says, "Motion to vacate the chair," and all of a sudden Kevin McCarthy is out of his fucking job. Anyway, that's my hope for the day. I love you all very, very much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.